Hello, 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 everyone. Happy Quad Witching Friday. Well, technically back to Triple Witching Friday, but we'll still call it Quad Witching because it's the quarter end options expiration. About 1.9 trillion from the SPX SPY options total over 3 trillion with all stock options expiring today. So it is a big one. Good morning, Davey. Hello, Amit. Yes, it's Friday already, Patrick. One thing I've noticed is gaps they seem to always get filled. About 90% of gaps get filled. Uh, I'm off to enjoy the day. Well, that's a pretty good plan. Yeah, VIX is gapping up big, especially with that sell-off from the FedEx just obliterating their guidance. FedEx down massive. Also, FedEx is a bellwether of the economy, which should be no surprise. And they're saying we're going to go into a pretty big recession, and we've already been talking about that. I just think that's what the Fed wants because there's no way to get the service inflation out of the system without that. It's not going to go away other than that. Good morning, Christoph. Good morning, Mike. Christoph, thank you for all the information you gave me through a Discord. Very helpful. They finally caught me off guard, but we'll see if we bounce. They caught you off guard. They caught Chris off guard. Don't let that cap. We'll have to reprimand them. Good morning, options 22. 5% down Friday. Generally, these kind of option expirations are choppier. Yes, you can get a massive trend day, but generally you'll get some pretty decent reversals. Anything can happen though, so that's why we'll take a look. But generally you get some more back and forth, especially in the afternoon. Hopefully the market will come to its senses. 36, here we come. Well, why stop there? Let's just get this over with. Let's go to where's Waka Waka, by the way? We need Waka Waka's 990. What was it? 985 S&P price target. Got lucky. Heavy on the puts. Lower levels on Qs, please. All right. Good morning, Anissa. By the way, don't be the only thing really today you watch for is consumer sentiment. If it comes in better than forecast, might give a little, especially if we're going down, little upwards pressure or bounce play into it. If we're going up, would continue possibly the rally. A miss, it's more than what it beats. I'm expecting this to roll over again in the fall. And this is the preliminary numbers. The final ones come out next Friday. Do pay attention, though, if you're glancing at this number, the inflation expectations, because if that comes in way better, it could sustain a little more of a rally. For the oil traders, you got rig counts, and that's really about it. Pretty red day. Amazon already taking it in the shorts at down 317 basis points. Very little places to hide. What's FedEx down 21%. Still 22% of 100 basis points. It's just, that's not going to happen. We're just going to do that 75. So you might as well just bake that into the cake. And as everyone knows, unless they've been living in a shed out in the middle of the woods, we are in negative gamma. That can exasperate, especially today, with moves. They can be over amplified because it can amplify to the up and down. Also, remember, if we do rally, the magnet at this point, 3,900. There is a ton of put gamma there and some pretty decent call gamma. So if we get back close to that, that could get interesting, especially with the call gamma, if you get close to that this afternoon. If we stay pretty far below it, it's just going to be the put gamma that's going to be whipping around. So just don't caught off guard. Some days, this is, unless you have some best setups, this is a day to not get over anxious or just manage already established positions. So you can see here, down pretty big. I was talking again after we hit that minor level 39 when we gapped down again last night. Then we targeted 38.79, the next level on there. We got the little bounce. And now we're 38.63. The next key area, we don't really have. It's just, this is the close pausing bar we have that gives us anything decent, although it's just overnight pause. So I need to line it up with some other levels. And that's not even a great pause right there. You can see it. It's not even a great pause. So I'm going with the reverse harmonics. This is the time to use the reverse harmonics. So if we continue lower, 38.47, 38.50 is my next major target. My next minor target would be, if I need some minor targets, I just use the forward harmonics to some pausing area in here. Why am I putting this up? I'm just trying to show people how I come up with stuff. Let me see. Let me expand this. I just want to drag them back to here and see where they gave us our levels were. There you go. Those, that's what I'm using. So 38.52 to 38.47, and then we're at the minor harmonic right now. 4 rallies. Your major resistance is now coming in at 3,900. If we do get some interesting rally, we've had a decent clear path move. Look at this even on the 15-minute. So for watching the minor levels are going to be back at 38.78. And then you get above 38.78, 38.90. But if you get to 38.90, you got a homing magnet possibly for 4K. But those will the levels I will be using. To the upside, to the downside is 38.52. So that's about it right now. If you need something for crash mode, the next major area is down about 3,800. 3,800 to 38.10. If you're going in, if you think we're going to go into full-blown crash mode today. Let's see where we sit. Hey ho, let's go to the COVID low. Oh boy. Were you working on that one, George, this morning? Morning, Mike. Morning, John. Momentum bars to 3,500. We're not going to 3,500 today. Hey, Waka Waka. Are we doing your what is it, 985, 975 S&P target today? Wreck It Friday. Oh, boy. Oh, no Tom and Coco. Flush down Friday, you guys. All right, I think we're going to bounce and rally. You guys are too bearish. You guys are just too bearish. I'll be watching for the reversal pattern. NASDAQ, 11,856. We're trading there right now. My next key area is 11,736 to 11,781. I'm going to bump these to the reverse harmonics and see how that plays in. And look, you got 11,781 reinforced. So on my push lower, that's my next key target. On a substantial push lower, this is an advanced clear path, but you got key stopping points. So NASDAQ's not as clean. Although we start bouncing above 11,857, you could easily see a return to 11.9 would be upwards of my target, 11.9. Next target area to utilize. So that's pretty much it down there. I'd be keying off of especially this 1 hour rotation zone on any rally this morning. Dow. Trying to trade against some of this key area right now. Got to pull off one of these. Next support on the Dow is pretty major at 30,600. Then I'm using 30,522. Those are my downside levels. To the upside is pretty much, again, off the 1 hour. Let me pull off some of these other levels up here. By the way, I think that potential double is pretty much done. That never manifested on the Dow. My will be 30,800, and then above that I'd be about 30,900. Really, watch the 1 hour rotation zone is a bit of my advice. The major resistance is back to 1815 on the Russell. Key support coming in at 1796. 1800 will be minor, but 1796 would fulfill the 87.5 move. And then right before that, we have 1794 harmonic. So that's what we got there. DAX, the only thing I'm keeping an eye on is this little mini potential double bottom, not necessarily for today. If it does not trigger, you can see it on the 1 hour. That is about it. And we've hit that 87.5 after the close below the 62.5. So we'll be watching for potential reversal patterns down in this area, but nothing, not doing anything aggressive. The only thing that would be the upside would be that little mini double. Notes. You got your major support from the June lows. So I'm really not going to be focused much on the notes today. I will be going into next week focusing on the notes because we do have some potential buy setups, but not carrying over the weekend. So we'll be patient. We can take a look at those on Sunday. Dollar index. The only minor thing, I mean, we already had that buy little pullback with the flagging pattern, channeling flag pattern, now retesting it. The only thing that takes me out of short-term bullish mode is this little mini potential double top. That's the only thing that takes me out of short-term bullish mode. And I'd be looking for at least a 1 hour close below 109.15, 108.76, 108.57, 108.38 into a clear path move. It's actually called a single candle clear path on the 4 hour. So that's the only thing. Other than that, I'm watching for if the market really starts unwinding, 110.11 and then back to about 110.31. As we said, VIX gap up. Gonna see if we get above yesterday's highs, 28.84. If we really start tanking as the next key level. Other than that, with the gap up, I'll watch for choppier price action if we start doing the gap fill. Crude this is not on my radar screen today. We might have potential buy setups going into early next week. By the way, they said that SPR thing at 80, they are now saying nope, not 80. So if that's technically off the table, we could see another breakdown play in crude, but there's nothing going on from my perspective in there. Let's get to some other key stocks. We'll glance at Tesla real quick. Not a bit. The only thing I'm watching is 290.40. At least a 1 hour, preferably a 4 hour close below there triggers a double top. You got the targets of 282.60, 278.70, 274.80. After coming off this key area to the upside, you're still first thing would be the gap fill, and then you have major resistance up here, anywhere 305 to 310. Spiders and the Qs. Very strong gap down. Let's use our short-term harmonics. So we're below the 385.51 I'd be using as a upside target. We're at 383.66, so that would be the first level, and then I'd be using 388.42. Those are the key targets I'd be utilizing right now. Besides, you can also put on your retracement harmonics and major support 382.59. That's pretty much the 382.59 to about 385. To about 382.55. That would be my first key support level. If you do start breaking below there, My next target would be 380.60 area, and then doubt that for today, but you'd have that gap fill. But this is the area I'd really be watching for support and resistance, 385.50. Remember, you can use a prior harmonic gap through as key resistance. Same thing for the Qs. You're back below now. You're at 287.40. So 288.34 would be resistance. Then yesterday's lows, 289.46. Then yesterday's close coming in about 291.10. 290.87 to 291.10 are my levels. The upside. To the downside, you still have this magnet right to here, and you have a 50% harmonic there, and that magnet price is 286.67. So that would be my first thing, focusing on the open. With if we have selling pressure in the open, I'd be watching for this gap fill, and then 285.82. But that gap fill will be the first thing target for increased downside on the open. Now I'm gonna, let's see. Oh boy. Good morning, Rams of Fall. Let's see. Where do we sit? I don't see much else to talk about. That's absolutely insane. Can we see No, we're not going to see SPY 400 today. That would be an absolutely ludicrous rally. Okay, I mean you're low. Even a 10-point range is pretty major to the upside. I mean, you'd be struggling to get to back to 390. If you had a major rally, my target would be 390, and that would be 3,900 on the options for OPEX. That would pretty much pin the 3,900. So no, you're not going to see 4K today, and you're not going to see 400. That's just absolutely absurd. That's not even realistic. Again, you're insane because we're not in a bull market. Yeah, I hope this the stuff you're smoking isn't going to provide long-term brain damage. All right. Let's see. UPS and XPO trading in sympathy with FedEx. Do you see any high probability setups on UPX and XPO? UPS. No, but I'd be focusing on at least a partial gap fill, not necessarily today. Okay, because when sometimes you get these sympathy moves that are overdone, the next key major support area I'd watch is if we sell off in the open 169.77, you do have some pretty substantial support down there, and it's the 87.5 from this run up. Other than that, I mean, I don't use a lot of pre-market information for plays. I'd be watching on any rally. You have the breakdown zone about 175.50, 175, between 175 and 175.50, and 175.43 is the 75% harmonic. So on any upside play, that's the area I'd be targeting. That would be a target. So if we start getting in rally mode, we start getting some opening bottoming pattern, and you wanted for a bullish play, that would be a target I would utilize. Other than that, if there's a breakdown play, if we really started selling, which would be hard to do based off of this gap, but my next target, not even necessary for today, is 169.77. I don't know what I mean. XPO, they're more of the logistics company. You know, they do the last little bit shipping or some heavy shipping. But there's key supports right down here at this 40 mid 45s to 46 level. So I'd be watching for a potential bounce pattern there. And then more of a gap. That did trigger the double top before. But that's, I think with this gap down, yeah, we're done with that. So on a bounce, this is where you can use 47.94 as a resistance level. Uh, that can still be utilized along with this area. About 47.18 would be my first target area on any bounce in there, and then this 47.94 right in front of that 48 area. But I'd be watching for at least a short-term bottoming pattern down in this area and before the next rollover play. Hey, Sterling's taking notes. Uh-oh. You're all in on your calls are gonna be hosed there, Tom. Thank you. I don't take notes on Tom. I have better things. I don't take notes during a live stream. What month are those calls on, by the way, Tom? What do you think about analyzing reverse charts by using, for example, uh, you can do reverse charts if you want. If you want the bear entry signals, just watch for, again, you put your line at 1 on the percent B, and you watch for that peak above it, and then the break or especially the close below the low of that bar for either stop or short signals. Yes, there's typically a lot of volatility, especially when it's negative gamma on these days, and I'd watch for sharp and sudden potential reversals. Good morning, Lauren. Oh, it was October? Phew! Wow, those calls are 450s. Oh, that's going to take some 430s and 450s are going to take some work. That's going to hopefully roll those down. Everyone, yes, have a good day. NASDAQ broke all supports. It did break all key support, but we have, remember, we still have stopping points. We have no clear path. So you still have a significant support coming in this 11.7 area. Then below that, you got around 11.5. Then below that, we have 11.4. And those just aren't round numbers I'm citing. Those are some pretty big buying zones. So it's not like this thing's just going to make a quick trip from my perspective to the June lows. We got some things that people will lean against, both in the NASDAQ and especially in the S&P. Especially in the S&P, you have a lot of stuff down here. 33,800, 3,780. You got a lot of support below that will get bought into. So don't just think you're going to have a smooth trip unless we go all out in crash mode, and you know my thoughts on crash mode. We cannot prepare for just all out crash mode every day. But we generally have, you can see all the dip buying in here before, and there'll still be people targeting this area for the next push down. So, all right, remember the, yes, and that so you brought up the 200, and the 200 on the next major thing will be key for a lot of these averages. I'm expecting these 200s to be tagged sooner rather than later. By the way, the live stream will be delayed this afternoon. I hope I don't get super caught up, but theoretically, if I get too caught up, pay attention to Reddit for any updates. Hopefully, I won't have to cancel it, but it will be delayed. You are welcome, Dr. Michael. You're welcome, Rams of Fall. You're welcome, Options 22. This is the kind of day also, if you don't have great setups or aren't already in positions, sometimes it's best to sit on the hands and let this OPEX expire and then go into next week. But then next week we have the Fed meeting. I just think that 75 is baked fully in. And I agree. Wait until that deal goes down. All right. Way to bring the dead into a Friday morning. With that, I'll talk to everyone later. Have a great, safe trading day. Bye.